Greetings. Welcome to CEC Gurukul lectures. In the ongoing series of financial statement of not-for-profit organization, in our previous session we already talked about how to prepare receipt and payment account, how to prepare income and expenditure account when receipt and payment account is given. In today's session, we are going to talk about how to prepare receipt and payment account when income and expenditure account along with the other information is given in the question. Before we proceed further, let's have a look at the this income and expenditure account. This is one of the account which is prepared by the not-for-profit organization. There are two accounts which are prepared by the not-for-profit organization NPOs, that is receipt and payment account and income and expenditure account. So in today's session we are going to talk about how to prepare receipt and payment account when income and expenditure account along with the other information is given in the question. So this is the format of income and expenditure account, and this income and expenditure account is nominal account in nature. Because of that rule, this account, income and expenditure account, records all type of expenses on the debit side and all incomes are to be recorded on the credit side. This income and expenditure account is prepared on accrual basis, which states only those items which are pertaining with the current year are to be recorded here. And this income and expenditure account record only revenue receipts. That means only those items which are recurring in nature are to be recorded in income and expenditure account. If credit side, that is income side, exceed debit side, that is expenditure side, there would be a surplus. And if the case is reverse, that is if expenditure side exceed income side, then there would be deficit. Either of these two will be calculated by preparing income and expenditure account. So let's begin how to prepare the receipt and payment account when income and expenditure account along with the other information is given in the information. The first step which is to be followed in the preparation of receipt and payment account is to begin with the opening balance of cash in hand and cash at bank, which is to be shown on the debit side, that is on the receipt and payment account, that is on the receipt side. So all opening balances, opening balance of cash in hand and cash at bank, which is generally given in the additional information. So this opening balance of cash in hand and cash at bank is to be shown on the receipt side. This is the first item of the receipt and payment account. And if any bank OD, bank overdraft, is also given in the additional information, that has to be shown on the reverse side, that is on the payment side, credit side. The next step which is to be followed in the preparation of receipt and payment account is you have to take into consideration the outstanding or accrued income in the opening balance sheet. We are going to discuss about this opening and closing balance sheet in our upcoming lecture. So if in opening balance sheet any outstanding or accrued income is given in the opening balance sheet and there is no outstanding income at the end or in a closing balance sheet, that means that income has been received, and if any income has been received, that the same should be shown on the receipt side of receipt and payment account. For example, there is an income and this income was shown in the beginning of the year, or it was shown in the opening balance sheet worth rupees 20,000, and the same amount is not given in the closing balance sheet, this 20,000. That means this income which was accrued in the beginning of the year has been received, and if any amount, any income has been received, that should be shown on the receipt side of the receipt and payment account. The next step which is to be considered here is consider the outstanding expenses in the opening balance sheet. Same case, if outstanding expenses are given in the opening balance sheet and same are not given in the closing balance sheet, that means expenses which were due in the beginning of the year has been paid, and if any amount which was due in the beginning of the year has been paid, has to be shown on the payment side of the receipt and payment account. The next one is we need to compare the closing assets with the opening assets. If the closing balance of the asset is more than the opening balance, the difference should be treated as purchase of assets, and if there is any purchase, if there is any addition of asset, the same should be shown on the payment side of the receipt and payment account. Let's understand this with the help of example. Like in the opening balance sheet, the value of the asset, value of the furniture which was given in the opening balance sheet was 20,000. At the end of the year, that is in the closing balance sheet, the value of the asset is given 50,000. There is an increase of in the value of furniture with rupees 30,000. So if there is any addition, if there is any purchase of any asset, so this must be shown on the payment side of the receipt and payment account. The next one is if closing balance of an asset is less than the opening balance. For example, the closing balance of any asset is rupees 1 lakh and the opening balance of the asset was rupees 1 lakh 50,000. So in the beginning, this asset was of rupees 1 lakh 50,000. At the end, this asset is of rupees 1 lakh. So there is a decline in the value of asset. So this is because of the reason of depreciation. But this depreciation is never shown in the receipt and payment account. Reason being, depreciation is a non-cash expense and non-cash items are never shown in the receipt and payment account. This receipt and payment account is prepared on cash basis. That means only those items which are paid in cash are to be shown in the receipt and payment account. The next is if there is a difference even after the adjustment of depreciation. For example, the value of asset in the beginning was 1 lakh and at the end value of asset is 80,000. There is a decline, and this decline, this value of rupees 80,000 is after adjusting depreciation. So even after adjusting depreciation, there is a difference, there is a decline that represent sale of asset. And if there is a sale of asset, that is treated as a receipt, though it is a capital receipt, but doesn't matter because receipt and payment account record any kind of receipt, whether it is a capital receipt or it is a revenue receipt. So if there is a sale of asset, that should be shown on the receipt side of the receipt and payment account. The next step which we need to consider while preparing receipt and payment account is deduct outstanding incomes and expenses for the current year from the respective income, items of incomes and expenses given in the income and expenditure account. The balance should be treated as actual receipts and actual payments, and same should be shown in the receipt and payment account. For example, the total expense for the current year is rupees 50,000, and this 50,000, this expense is shown in the income and expenditure account. The total expense is 50,000 and this expense is shown in the income and expenditure account on the expenditure side, that is on the debit side. We have to consider this point, this fact that while preparing income and expenditure account, this income and expenditure account record only those items which are related with the current year. So the total expense which is shown in the income and expenditure account, this belongs to the current year only, irrespective of the fact whether that expense has been paid or not. So the total expense which is shown on the debit side is rupees 50,000, out of which 10,000 is still outstanding. So how much we have paid? Out of 50,000 we have paid only 40,000. 10,000 is still outstanding. So this outstanding you need to deduct for the calculation of the amount which has been paid. So out of 50,000, 10,000 has to be deducted. The remaining amount, that is 40,000, which has been paid in cash, has to be shown on the payment side of the receipt and payment account. Basically, the basic idea is you have to consider only that amount which is actually paid or which is actually received. The next one is if there is any new fund which is appearing in the closing balance sheet, maybe on account of donation, whether it is a specific donation or a general donation or grant received, and the same should be shown on the receipt side of the receipt and payment account. If there is any addition to the capital fund or on account of legacies, entrance fees or life membership fees should be treated as receipts. Income received in advance appearing in the closing balance sheet is to be treated as receipts during the year. If there is any income which is received in advance, that means if any income which belongs to the next year but received this year, that has to be shown on the receipt side of the receipt and payment account, because receipt and payment account records all type of receipts, whether they belong to the current year, they belong to the previous year, or they belong to the next year. So any income which is received in advance and which is shown in the balance sheet as income received in advance, this income received in advance is shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. The same should be shown on the receipt side of this receipt and payment account. The next is prepaid expenses. If prepaid expenses are appearing in the closing balance sheet, then this prepaid expenses means expenses which are paid in advance, and if these prepaid expenses are appearing in the closing balances, then same should be treated as payments and shown on the payment side of the receipt and payment account. The last one is calculation of closing balance of cash and bank account. The purpose to prepare receipt and payment account is to find out the closing balance of cash and bank, which is the missing balancing figure. So the final step is to calculate the closing balance of cash and bank. How it is calculated? The difference, the balancing figure, would be treated as the closing balance. Let's understand this entire process, how to prepare receipt and payment account when income and expenditure account along with the additional information is given in the question. Let's understand this with the help of this example. In this example, income and expenditure account is given. And this income and expenditure account, on the expenditure sides, all the items are given like medicines used, honorarium, salaries, printing and stationery, electricity, rent. All these items, as you can see, all these items are revenue expenses. Revenue expenses means all those expenses which are recurring in nature on a daily basis, all those payments which are to be made on a daily basis. So income and expenditure account, this record all revenue items. This records only those items, this income and expenditure account, this record only those items which are related with the current year. And what we have to prepare? We have to prepare receipt and payment account, which is just opposite of it, which states receipt and payment account record all type of receipts, whether they are recurring or non-recurring, whether they are capital receipts or they are revenue receipts, whether they belong to the current year, whether they belong to the previous year, or they belong to the next year. But income and expenditure account, this records only those items which are related with the current year only, and those items which are recurring in nature. So before preparing receipt and payment account, we have to consider the expenditure side and income side. So on the expenditure side, all the items which are appearing on the expenditure side except depreciation and surplus, because depreciation is a non-cash item and surplus, this is the profit. So this will be shown in the balance sheet. All the items which are shown on the expenditure side of this income and expenditure account will be shown on the payment side of receipt and payment account. Let's have a look on the income side of income and expenditure account. All the items like subscription, donation, since donation is shown on the income side of this income and expenditure account, this is a general donation. There are two types of donation, one is general donation and one is specific donation. We have already talked about the types of donation in our previous lecture. So donation, since donation is shown in income and expenditure account, so this is treated as a revenue income. So subscription, donation, interest on investment, proceeds from charity, all these are income, and all these incomes are to be shown on the receipt side of the receipt and payment account. There is one more item which is given on the income side, that is expenses. Expenses means this is an expenditure, this has to be shown on the payment side of the receipt and payment account. Let's have a look about the additional information which is given in this question. This is opening balances of subscription due. Subscription due means income due but not received. So opening balance as well as closing balance is given. Subscription received in advance, this is an income which belongs to the next year but received this year. So the opening balance is opening balance as well as closing balance, both are given here. Electricity outstanding, opening as well as closing. Stock of medicines, estimated value of equipment, this is asset. Furniture, this is also asset. Land, interest accrued on investment, cash in hand, cash at bank. The entire information is given here, opening as well as closing. So let's begin with the preparation of receipt and payment account with this given information. What was given in the question? That is income and expenditure account along with the additional information was given in the question. Now we have to prepare receipt and payment account. So while preparing receipt and payment account, we have to consider all the features of the receipt and payment account, and they says this receipt and payment account records any type of receipts, any type of payment. That means whether they are capital in nature or they are revenue in nature, whether they belong to the current year or previous or next year, they are to be recorded in receipt and payment account. So to begin with this receipt and payment account, the first item which is appearing in the receipt and payment account on the debit side is it is beginning with the opening balance of cash and bank. Where it is given, this opening balance of cash and bank is given in the additional information. Additional information, look at this additional information at point number 9 and 10. Cash in hand and cash at bank. The opening balance of cash in hand was given 1700 and opening balance of cash at bank was given 45,000. So this receipt and payment account begins with the opening balance of cash and opening balance of bank, which is given in the additional information. The next item which is given here is subscription. Subscription is a major income of any NPO. So this is the receipt. So this subscription which was given in the question in the income and expenditure account was the total subscription received for the year was, as you can see on the credit side, on the income side was 2,80,000. In the additional information, there is lot of information about subscription is given in the question, that is subscription due, subscription received in advance. In our previous lecture, we already talked about how to prepare, how to calculate the amount of subscription for the receipt and payment account, for the income and expenditure account. So that's why the subscription is highlighted here. In this case, whenever there is additional information about anything is given in the question, in that case it is always advisable to prepare account for the same. So the amount of subscription which is calculated here is by preparing the subscription account. How it is prepared? Subscription which is given in the additional information, that is in the beginning. The total subscription due in the beginning which was given in the additional information is 600. Subscription due at the end which was given in the additional information is rupees 800. Subscription received in advance in the beginning, this is a liability, that's why it is shown on the credit side with rupees 320. Subscription received in advance at the end, it is shown on the debit side, 500. So all these four items were given in the additional information. There is one more thing which was given related with the subscription was in the income and expenditure account. In income and expenditure account, the total subscription which was shown on the credit side was 2,80,000. So this is also posted on the debit side of this subscription account. So the balancing figure is coming on the credit side. So this balancing figure means this is the total subscription which we have received in cash, that is 2,79,980. So this is always advisable. If any information is given about any item, it is always advisable to prepare account. The next item is donation. Donation is same as we have because we have taken this amount of donation from this income and expenditure account. So the donation amount of donation which was given in income and expenditure account, as you can see on the income side, donation was 47,500. The same amount has been shown on the receipt side. So all the items which were shown on the income side are posted on the receipt side of this receipt and payment account as it is, and all the items which were shown on the expenditure side are shown on the payment side of this receipt and payment account. How this purchase of medicines, electricity, purchase of equipment are calculated? All these items are calculated by preparing the necessary ledger, because there were some adjustments were given in the question. So how to calculate purchase of medicine? For this we have to calculate the amount of this. So medicine which were given in the income and expenditure account was 1,49,900, and there was a information given in the question about this medicines. The closing stock has to be added here, and the opening stock for medicines has to be deducted here. The net amount, which is 1,59,550, has to be shown on the payment side, because these are the actual amount which we have paid for the purchase of medicine. Similarly, we will calculate the remaining amount of remaining items, that is, which are highlighted here: electricity, purchase of equipment. Finally, after preparing this receipt and payment account, there would be a balancing figure on the credit side, and this balancing figure shows the closing balance of bank. Closing balance of cash was already given in the question, as you can see at point number 9. Closing balance of cash in hand was given in the question with rupees 1800, but closing balance of cash at bank was not given in the question. So by preparing receipts and payment account, the closing balance of bank is calculated, and this is 8,170. The next thing which we need to do here is the preparation of balance sheet. The preparation of balance sheet will prepare opening balance sheet and closing balance sheet. We'll talk about these two balance sheet in our upcoming lecture. Thank you so much.